With an annual budget of some 65 million rand, the city says its care program aims to offer the increasing number of homeless people around the metro dignity. The municipality insists no one should sleep out in the elements. The additional funding has been set aside for distribution to NGO-run shelters to scale up bed availability ahead of winter.
Living on the streets without toilet facilities and proper shelter is not dignified for the homeless, nor for the people living formally in surrounding areas. This budget does more for homeless people and for the communities around them. Our city's care program to help people off the streets has been increased to 77 million rand in this budget. A further 10 million rand will go directly to increasing beds at shelters this coming winter. And 142 million rand is set aside to operate and expand our city-run safe spaces in the next 3 years.
Authorities say its safe space model provides shelter, meals and access to rehabilitation and reintegration services. Homeless shelters like this one have lauded the efforts to reintegrate people living on the streets.
Additional bed space is just one of the 8 categories that the city is trying to impact through funding. Much of it is directed to reintegration of people, so it will fund programs for people living on the street to encourage them to come off the street. The city did promise the Haven 2 years ago and budgeted, planned and so on to increase sleeping areas and ablution facilities on Haven shelters on city-owned land like Kensington, Retreat, Wynberg and Claremont. Unfortunately, they pulled the budget on that, but we are in discussion to reactivate that.
Activists, however, say those considered chronically homeless need more than just temporary bed spaces at shelters.
What is needed for this segment of the population is a secure and permanent housing option, known as Housing First. This model is successfully being employed by the Rehoming Collective in Observatory, and there is potential to replicate it in other parts of the city, especially considering the number of buildings that have become vacant due to the impact of COVID-19.
The municipality has come under criticism over its streets bylaw, which activists say criminalizes homelessness. The bylaw makes provision for compliance notices to be issued to people sleeping or camping overnight in a public place who've refused alternative accommodation. Vanessa Puna, SABC News, Cape Town.